1 o'clock on the nose. Okay, let's see. You all, welcome to class. I'm so glad to be here on the mat. Sorry, I have missed a couple of weeks. I was out of town, so it's good to be back. Today's practice is kind of, I like to think of it as an anchoring into what it is that you want to connect with, anchoring into maybe who you are, how you're feeling, maybe some positive light on that as far as, thinking a little inward as like I'm anchoring into my internal strength. I'm anchoring into my mindfulness. I'm anchoring into something that really kind of matters for you. And when I think of anchoring, I think of a boat. And with that, I think that we all are collectively in this thing of life, right? And we're kind of anchoring into who we are. And at the same time, we're in these waters together, right? We're all in our own boats, but we are collectively in the water and we are moving our boats in different ways, right? So just to kind of let you know, one of the poses we'll be moving into is boat. But if we're going to move into it from a standing position, so we'll make it a little more exciting and it won't feel so stagnant, if you will. So let's kind of begin. We're just going to start in this seated upright pose. And for today, I want you to let your spine just kind of soften, because sometimes we have that yardstick up against our spine and we sit really tall. But today, for just now, I want you to really anchor into your sits bones. And it's funny that we are here and we're seated. And if you think about our hip area and the bone structure there, it almost appears like an anchor, right? So you've got this beautiful anchor that's kind of connecting you to the mat, connecting you to your world around you. And for just this moment, I invite you to soften your gaze or perhaps close your eyes and anchor into your breath, this time that you have on the mat. And let your spine really kind of soften here. And whether you realize it or not, in this posture, sometimes we tend to squeeze one glute a little more than the other. So I want you to really let everything go. Just kind of soften, get heavy here. And then just anchoring into that breath, connecting. And in the stillness, you may have things that surface, almost like they're bubbling up to the surface. We just kind of let that go for now, so we stay with our breath, stay present. And notice if your shoulders feel like they want to be tight. I want you to just kind of wiggle them, let them slide down your back a little bit here. And let's just begin to deepen our breath as you inhale. Allow your breath to really expand into your belly, maybe your chest. And a nice big open mouth exhale. Send your breath out. Let's repeat, inhaling through our nose. And a big open mouth exhale. One more time. This time, seal your lips as you breathe in through your nose. And on the exhale, exhale through your nose, creating that audible sound in the back of your throat. Your Ujjayi Pranayama, your meditative breath. As we move on our mat today, I want you to use this Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Let that kind of keep you present on your mat. And let that allow you to hold your postures. Let that be your anchor. Beautiful. And from here, let's just take our arms for a moment. We're just going to make a big circle, reaching our hands all the way up towards the sky. And at the very top, let's bring our palms together, eyes still closed or softened. And then exhaling, let's lower our hands down to our heart space. And at the same time, release your chin down to the tips of your fingers and start to feel the back of your neck. Release, soften, keeping your shoulders soft here. And then slowly, let's inhale. We're going to lift our chin, bring it to level. And then we're just going to reverse that. We're reaching our hands all the way up towards the sky. So we're just taking our hands up first instead of wide. Allow your gaze to follow your hands and perhaps blink open your eyes at the very top when your hands reach. Let's rotate our hands outward. And then on the exhale, let's release our hands and lower our chin down to our chest. Just kind of feel the way your shoulders move in this way. And then slowly, let's bring our hands back into our heart space here. Nice big breath, lengthening through the spine this time. And on the exhale, release your chin down towards your fingertips. Perfect. And we're going to move a little differently in the beginning of our class. So I want you to move yourselves into a position so we can just arrive in this Supta Baddha Konasana. And it may take a moment to get there. If you need blocks under your knees, we bring our feet sole to sole. And then we're just going to slowly lower onto our backs. And this is a beautiful way to open up our front of our body, our inner thighs, and just feel that connection again underneath us, our spine on the mat. You can place your hands on your belly, maybe one on your chest and your belly, and then just taking a moment, let your knees get heavy. You'll feel that gentle stretch happening within your legs, and that's perfect. We don't want it to be uncomfortable, but we want to feel this beautiful awakening through our legs. And as well, allow ourselves to get really grounded here for just a moment. It's just slightly different than our normal practice. And this is just a beautiful way to let everything go. Let's take a nice big breath in. Nice breath out. Perfect. And then from here, we're just going to reach our hands up towards the sky. Keep your legs where they are. And then we're going to allow our arms to reach overhead. You may notice the small of your back is lifting, and that's perfect. We're just taking this big stretch here, feeling maybe a little bit more into your lower back, maybe into your front area of your hips. And just take a moment to stretch. If you're like me and have a wall next to you, you can even press onto that wall space. Just kind of feel a nice deeper stretch. And then slowly, let's take our arms wide so that we can place them on the outsides of our knees and draw our knees together. Ooh, nice. Draw both knees into your chest and just really connect here with your spine on the mat. And we're going to rock side to side. Massaging your lower back, maybe even feeling this in your hip area. Perfect. And from here, let's go ahead and we're going to start rocking the opposite direction, which is forward and backward. So if this is too much on your spine, you don't have to do this at all. You can simply roll to one side and meet us in tabletop. Don't rush it. You can take 4 to 5 or as many times as you'd like to just kind of come all the way up. And we're just going to cross our ankles and then roll on over into our tabletop. And once you come into your tabletop, make sure that your knees are underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders. And here we are in our beautiful altar pose here, if you will. And I want to take a moment and move through some cow-cat postures. So using your breath, allow yourselves to move at your own pace, releasing the belly down towards the mat. Maybe lift your chin, take that cow pose. And then on the exhale, let's take our cat by drawing the belly button into our spine and really press through the palms of your hands, drawing your chin to your chest. And I encourage you to take whatever you feel your body needs. Let's repeat this. If your body feels like it wants to take your hips in circles, that's absolutely fine. Maybe you want to roll your shoulders. It's up to you. Sometimes that feels great, sometimes not so much. But I want to move through this cycle about 3 times, maybe on your own, using your own breath, your own motion. And then we'll meet in our tabletop and we'll move from there. So take your time. We're in no hurry. So important, our spinal health, moving, allowing ourselves this opportunity to really loosen up and awaken here on our mats. I can tell you from firsthand, my husband, he's a golfer and he went out on the course yesterday. And of course, I always tell him, you might want to do some stretches, but he decided no, so he went out and played golf yesterday. And on the 15th hole, his back gave him some trouble. And I did mention, I hated to do it, but I had to ask him, did you stretch? But anyways, so taking care of ourselves is really important. Let's take a moment here from our tabletop. And on the inhale, let's extend that right leg nice and long behind us. And allow yourselves a moment, dial the toes down. Keep your hips nice and level. We're just going to lift and lower the right leg a little bit, feeling that right hip awakening, and then lower the 5 toes to the mat. Here's where we start to stretch into the back of our right leg. And this is really important as well. Our hamstrings and the backs of our legs get really tight, especially if we're seated all day at a desk. This is a beautiful stretch. And then shift forward into your wrists. Again, another beautiful stretch for our wrists. And then coming back into the center here, we're just going to lift that right leg nice and long behind us on the inhale. On the exhale, let's bend the right knee and we're going to draw into our chest and round into this. So draw your chin towards the right knee, almost like you're going to kiss that right knee. And then inhale, let's extend and lengthen. And exhale, let's draw it in here. Inhale, let's extend and lengthen. And at this moment, I want you to bend the right knee, pressing the sole of your right foot up towards the sky. Hips are still level. And then we're just going to sweep it behind our left knee, almost like we're going into that eagle pose, but we're crossing our legs like we're seated at our desk. So from here, with our right leg tucked behind the left knee, we're starting to shift our hips back towards our heels, almost like we're going into that child's pose. Maybe come down to your elbows here, keeping your hips level. So if your right hip wants to lift, see if you can draw it level. We're just going to take a moment here, stretching out, feeling this beautiful stretch. If this isn't enough, you can always walk your hands forward and take it a little deeper, feeling the side body stretching here. And then slowly, let's come back onto our elbows here. We're lifting the right leg up and then lowering it down to the mat. Take your knees a little wide, and we're just going to shift into that child's pose, this time releasing out your wrists. Maybe release your forehead down to the mat. And then slowly, let's come forward back into our tabletop. Stacking everything back in alignment here. And then slowly, let's take this on the left side. So we're just going to extend that left leg nice and long. Dial the toes down, flex the left foot, and then lift and lower the left leg. Again, feeling that left hip flexor, really a nice way to say, hey, we're going to start moving right here. And then let's lower the 5 toes down to the mat, stacking the heel over your toes so that we're not sickling inward or outward. And then starting to press our weight into that left heel or shift our weight to the left heel. Lengthening up the back of our legs. And this can be pretty intense. If it's too much, we soften the knee. If you'd like it deeper, you can always press the back of your leg up towards the sky a little bit more. And then let's shift forward into our wrists. Perfect. Coming back into that neutral space. Let's lift the left leg nice and long behind us. Hips are level, toes dialed down. And on the exhale, draw the left knee into your chest and round into this, allowing your chin to go towards your left knee. Maybe one side feels like it's a little more accessible. That's perfect. Inhale, let's extend and lengthen. And exhale, we draw it in. Inhale, let's extend and lengthen right here, taking a moment. Let's bend that left knee as if we're stamping the sole of our left foot up towards the sky here. And then exhaling, sweep the left knee behind the right, like we're crossing our legs, seated in our desk. And then shift your hips back towards your heels. And if you're like me, sometimes we get a Charlie horse. We got to just shake it out. I have to tell you, I don't know what is going on with me and the Charlie horses in my legs lately. So as we shift back, you can walk your hands forward, maybe come down to your elbows, just kind of explore what feels good to you. And then slowly coming onto your elbows. If you're not already there, we're just going to shift forward, lift the left knee, take your left knee wide so that you shift your hips back into that child's pose. One more time, releasing out the wrists, lengthening through your side bodies. And while we're in this beautiful child's pose this time, I want you to walk your hands towards the right. Perfect. And then we're just going to shift the hips a little bit to the left. So you're feeling this beautiful stretch through the side of your left body here. And then slowly we come back into center, bringing our hips back into center, and then walking our hands over to the left, so off of the left side of our mat, and then shift your hips just a little to the right. You really don't have to go far to feel this beautiful stretch. And remember to breathe. So taking that big breath in and that big breath out. Let's walk our hands back into center here, lowering our elbows. We're just going to shift forward. So we're in this like puppy pose, if you will, bringing our knees underneath our hips. And then from here, we're just going to walk our knees back and come all the way down into the Sphinx pose. Untuck your toes if they were tucked. And then with our elbows underneath our shoulders, so they're not behind and they're not forward, they're just underneath. I want you to give your hands a nice pause, so like they're nice strong Sphinx paws, and then scrub your palms on the mat so that you're sending your heart forward, almost encouraging that beautiful opening across the front of your body right here. Lift your chin, nice stretch, nice opening. And then on the exhale, let's allow our elbows to go wide and we place our forehead on the backs of our hands. Just take a moment here and allow your heels to open to either side. So it kind of releases your lower back right here. Perfect. Nice. And then allowing our hands, we're going to take them into this nice cactus. So we're bringing our palms into this goalpost arms, if you will. And then slowly we're going to slide our hands by our chest so our elbows lift. So we kind of have these spider arms, if you will. We're pressing through our palms and we're just going to start to lift the heart just a little bit. And you can move side to side and experiment with how this feels in your spine. Let your head be heavy or allow it to go with the flow, if you will. And then slowly from here, release the left shoulder towards the center. Nice. Come back. Lift. Inhale. Exhale, release the right shoulder towards center. Nice. Inhale, come back to center. We're just going to alternate one more time. Exhale, left shoulder releases. Inhale, come center. Exhale, right shoulder releases. Inhale, let's come back into center, and exhale, we lower all the way down, allowing our hands to slide again underneath our forehead. Take a moment, let your heels knock out towards either side, releasing your lower back. You can even massage the back of, or your forehead on the backs of your hands. And then slowly, let's slide our hands back by our chest, and we're just going to press and lift back into our child's pose. One more time, knees go wide. Just take a moment here. Big, beautiful breath in and a beautiful breath out. Nice. Let's shift forward into our tabletop. From here, we're going to move into our first down dog. And through today's practice, you may want to have some blocks nearby. I forgot to mention that in the beginning of class. I always have them on the ready, but just in case you may need them, we're going to be moving into from a low lunge into a beautiful stretch up the backs of our legs. So just to be mindful, keep those blocks handy. From here in our tabletop, let's start to tuck our toes. And from here, I want you to just lift the knees. We're not going up into the down dog yet. We're just hovering those knees. Notice how you start to feel immediately. Right here, our mind shifts. We start thinking, oh my gosh, this is not what I want, right? It's uncomfortable. It's kind of challenging. But I want you to take a nice big breath and exhale, lower the knees. You're stronger than you know, right? This time, let's try lifting our knees, and then this time we will go into our down dog. So lift those knees, slowly lift the hips all the way up towards the sky. And as your hips reach to the sky, your knees are still bent. And then when your hips can't lift anymore, we start to straighten our knees or release our heels down towards the mat. And down dog is one of those poses where we feel like some days we want to be still in it. And some days we want to move in it. For me personally, I like to move a little bit to get this, to be settled. It's, I never feel like I land perfectly where I want to be. So for me, it works best to kind of move and settle into this pose. Notice your breath. I want you to also focus in on allowing yourselves to breathe here. Down dog is actually a resting pose. Sometimes our first down dog feels far from a resting pose. Let's take another big breath in here. And exhale, open mouth. Shifting our gaze up towards our hands. Let's go ahead and bend our knees, give a generous bend here. We're just going to walk our feet up towards our wrist and taking our feet outside of our hip width. So they're a little bit wider here. Allow yourselves a moment to just fold forward. So you can place your hands on opposite elbows. You can keep your hands on the mat, or if you'd like to, you can hold onto blocks, or if you'd like to, you can also hold the backs of your legs. That's pretty intense. So mostly what I want you to focus on right here is letting everything just kind of spill forward, where we're just letting everything go. So everything just rolls off of our back and onto the mat. Just really getting anchored here into our feet. If you're holding opposite elbows, let's go ahead and release our hands down towards the mat. And then heel toe our feet a little closer. So now they're underneath our hips and they're supporting us. Root into those feet. Really draw the energy up right here through our feet. And we're slowly going to take that reverse swan dive. So we're coming all the way up, nice and slow and steady, since we have a lot of blood in our head from that forward fold, slow and steady. And then at the very top, we take our arms nice and wide, reaching our hands to the sky. Let's bring our palms together at the top and exhale. Hands down to our heart space. Taking a moment here, let's set our intention for our practice, that sankalpa, that little bit of mindfulness, if you will, that intention for your practice. and kind of looking inward. What is it that you possess that you'd like to bring forward? Patience, courage, strength. Anchoring into those powerful words can transform your day, it can transform your mindset. Allow that to guide you today on the mat. Let's take a nice breath in. Maybe your eyes, if they were closed like mine, we blink them open, the top of our breath. And then let's exhale our hands down by our sides and just kind of shake it out. Let your legs get soft here. Perfect. And then we're going to move from here. Let's begin with our Surya Namaskar A, which is that beautiful flow, that standing flow. So on the inhale, let's reach our hands all the way up again, just like we were, palms together at the very top. Feel that beautiful stretch through the front of our body. And on the exhale, let's take that forward fold. You can bring your hands through heart center, or you can take them wide. Sometimes I like to go through the center, sometimes I go wide, but I want you to fold here. And again, allow yourselves to get heavy here with your head, your hands resting on the mat, your blocks. And on the inhale, let's take our half lift. Slide your hands maybe to your shins, possibly your thighs, wherever they are. I want you to press those palms wherever they are, and so that you can lengthen through your spine. Feel the lengthening up the backs of your legs and send those sits bones towards that back edge of your mat. And then let's exhale, we're folding. Maybe bring that gentle bend into your knees as you fold right here, rooting into our feet. Let's take that reverse swan dive. We rise on up, almost like we're scooping up all this beautiful energy, that strength. Beautiful. At the very top, bringing our palms together and exhale our hands back down to our heart space. Whew. That is a powerful flow, especially when we move slowly and mindfully. Let's repeat that. Inhaling, we reach all the way up, feeling that beautiful stretch. And on the exhale, let's fold, hinging from our hips. Allow everything to fold forward, letting your head get heavy just for a moment here. On the inhale, let's take our half lift. Again, finding our hands where they support us, maybe on our shins, our thighs. You can even keep your peace fingers on the mat. And on the exhale, we're folding. As you fold, maybe find those blocks, giving your knees a gentle bend here. Hands where they support you on the block or the mat. We're just going to send that left foot back. So now we're in this nice lunge, and then we're going to lower the left knee. If you have knee issues, go ahead and slide something underneath your left knee. Untuck the left toes. Nice. So we're in this half lunge, if you will. And then from here, this is where the fun begins, right? We're going to take our arms nice and wide as we rise on up. We're just going to take them in big circles here. Reach them all the way up. And on the exhale, we're folding forward, almost like we were in our Surya Namaskar A, our hands framing our right foot. And from here, we're starting to straighten that right knee as we shift our hips back. This is where blocks become very handy. Your toes of your right foot may lift. That's perfect. I want you to keep your heart lifted on the big breath in and hold on the exhale. And then slowly walk your hands forward, rebend the right knee. So we're in that half lunge right here, and we're going to repeat that. So we're lifting our hearts, we rise on up, arms go wide, like we're circling this big, beautiful breath in, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, lowering our hands, framing the right foot. Shift your hips back, feeling that beautiful stretch. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, maybe fold a little deeper. It's not necessary. We're only here just to feel that beautiful stretch. And this is where our mind wants to get involved, right? Not happening. Let's shift forward. Rebend the right knee. Rise on up, arms circle nice and wide at the very top. We're going to hold it right here. And this time we're bringing in goalpost arms. So we're just going to bend those elbows and open the heart space a little bit here. Ooh, feel that beautiful stretch. Nice. And then again, extending the arms up. And exhale, let's lower our hands down towards the mat. Straightening the right knee one more time. Shift the hips back. Lift the heart on the inhale. And you may hold on the exhale, or you may lower a little deeper. Not necessary. Perfect. And then rebending the right knee, shifting forward. Lifting the left knee by tucking the left toes. We're just going to lift that left knee, feeling really strong. Our hands may be on blocks right here. And then from here, we're slowly going to take our hands and walk them forward, slide the left foot beside the right. So that's a big transition, right? From here, let's root into our feet. Take that reverse swan dive as we rise on up. Nice and slow, nice and steady, feeling secure in our footing. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, let's lower our hands down to our heart space. Perfect. Let's inhale, we're moving with our breath, and we're going to take it on the other side, reaching all the way up. Exhale, let's fold, hinging from our hips. Boy, my hips are tight these days. Inhale to our half lift. And on the exhale, let's fold, bending our knees gently, finding those blocks. I'm going to use blocks just to give a good demo. And then we're just going to slowly slide the right foot back. As we slide the right foot back, we lower the right knee, untuck the right toes. And then from here, we're finding that space so we're able to rise on up. We're taking that reverse, right? So our arms come wide and we reach all the way up. Beautiful stretch. You may feel this in your right hip flexor. And then exhale, reach your hands forward, lowering them to the left foot, framing the left foot with your hands. From here, we're starting to shift our hips back, straightening that left knee. Maybe we walk our blocks closer. On the inhale, let's lift our heart, finding that nice, long, beautiful spine here. And you may hold on the exhale. Some may want to sink a little deeper, whatever it is. I want you to stay with that beautiful breath, because here's where your challenge comes in. Here's where our mind wants to take over. So let's inhale, anchor in here, and exhale. Beautiful. Rebend that left knee, shifting forward. We're going to rise on up. Arms go nice and wide. Reach up. And exhale, we fold or lower our hands, framing our left foot. And then shift our hips back. Again, feeling that beautiful stretch here. Take a big breath, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale. And then slowly rebend that left knee. I promise we're moving. Inhale, we reach up. This is challenging, my friends. On the exhale, let's take those goalpost arms. So we're bending the elbows, opening that heart space. Maybe lift your chin a little bit. Just kind of explore what feels good, what doesn't. Oh, it feels really good sometimes. And then slowly inhale, reach your hands all the way up. Exhale, we lower our hands, framing the left foot with our hands. And then we shift our hips back one more time, taking that beautiful stretch here. Ooh. Inhale, hearts lift. And maybe we fold a little deeper. And then let's rebend the left knee. Here's where we move into that forward fold. So as we rebend the left knee, we find our blocks or whatever supports us. So we're able to tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, finding root and strength in the left foot. We slide the right foot to meet the left. Inhale to our half lift. Exhale, let's fold. And then rooting into our feet. Take that reverse swan dive all the way up. Nice and strong. We reach and exhale, hands down to our heart space. Perfect. And from here, we're going to move a little differently. So stay with me. We're going to take our chair pose. And chair pose is one of those poses that everybody, well, pretty much hates. I wish we could say we love hate, but really we don't really like it. So allow your feet to be as wide as you need them. We don't have to have them close together. You can take them wide, and we don't have to go far to start feeling our chair pose. But here is the part that's challenging. So as we sink into our chair pose, this is what becomes challenging is our mind, right? Our mind wants to take over, but I want you to really anchor into your body, into your legs, and start to feel the strength here. Allow yourselves to breathe, because we get into boat or chair pose and we say, oh, I'm going to hold my breath. But here we're going to breathe. And I like to keep my hands at my heart space. It just kind of keeps my breath steady. If you like more of a challenge, you can always reach your hands up towards the corner crease in the ceiling of your wall, if you will. And that just kind of elevates your heart rate. So if you're like me, we're just going to hang right here. Let's take another big breath in and exhale. And here's where we're shifting, and we're changing our pose here, my friends. So from here, with our chair pose, I want you to take your arms and we're just going to kind of sweep them back, almost like we're peering over the edge or the ledge of something, right? And then shift your weight forward into your toes. Challenge yourselves, see if you can lift your heels, allow your belly to release towards your thighs. And maybe we don't, that's okay, we just come right here. Doesn't matter. Wherever we are, we're all in the water together and we're all challenged, right? We're in our individual boats, but we're collectively together. Beautiful. And here's where we're slowly rolling all the way into our boat pose. So from here, we lower all the way down, and I'm just going to break it down. We come all the way down, and you can walk your hands, come into that boat pose. And today you may have a yacht. Maybe you have a pontoon, maybe we have a rowboat, and sometimes I need a rowboat where I can give somebody the oars to help me row. So you guys decide what works for you in this boat pose. Take a nice big breath in and a breath out. Hold one more big breath and exhale. And then slowly come all the way down. Draw your knees into your chest. Take a moment here. And we're going to rock up and down our spine. And again, if this is too much, meet us at the short edge of your mat, the front line of your mat, if you will. And so that we can rise into our Surya Namaskar A. So we're just coming forward. Uncross your ankles if they were crossed. Root into your feet. Let's rise on up. Beautiful. Palms together. Exhale, hands down to our heart space. Perfect. Let's take a moment here. We're just going to move a little differently. Slide the left foot back. Spiral the left heel down. I like to think of our legs as kind of that foundation. What is grounding you? What is anchoring you? And when you're ready from this warrior one, let's go and add our arms, reaching all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. Feel that beautiful stretch right here. And then on the exhale, we're just going to give those goalpost arms another opportunity here. Bending the elbows, opening here. So strong. Inhale, let's reach back up. Hold that right knee right where it is, steady. On the exhale, open into your warrior two. So we're shifting the back foot and we're coming into our warrior two. I needed to slide my back foot further back. You may as well. So we're in this warrior two and we're anchoring into our legs. This is our foundation pose. This is our strength. Draw up that energy through the soles of your feet, and let's come into our peaceful warrior. Rotating the right palm up. Inhale, reach and sweep your right fingertips up towards the sky and maybe overhead. Big, beautiful stretch to our right side body. And we breathe. And then cartwheeling our hands all the way down towards the mat, framing the right foot with our hands. Allow the left heel to lift. You're in that beautiful high lunge right here. Press your left palm into the mat. Maybe press it into a block. Inhale, we're just going to lift that right arm up. Take that open twist. And then exhale, lower your right hand down towards the mat. Take a moment here, lower the left knee, untuck the left toes. You know where we're headed. Shift your hips back. Feel that beautiful stretch up the back of your right leg. Heart is lifted. Inhale. Exhale, maybe we fold. Rebend the right knee, shifting forward. Tucking the left toes, lift the left knee. You're in that high lunge. Rooting into the right foot. Nice and steady, nice and steady.
We're slowly going to slide the left foot beside the right. Inhale to our half lift. Exhale, let's fold. Rooting into our feet, let's rise on up. Beautiful. Palms together at the top and exhale, hands down to our heart space. Nice, let's slide that right foot back. We're taking our warrior one on the left. So as you slide the right foot back, again, allow yourselves a moment to arrive. Right heel is spiraled down onto the mat, squaring your hips towards the short edge of the mat. Remember, this is our foundational pose. This is where we feel most powerful. Where are we most powerful? What makes you feel powerful, right? Your voice, your strength, your courage. It can be any of those things. Let's inhale, reach our hands up. Nice big breath. And this time on the exhale, we're going to sweep our hands behind us. We're just going to interlace those fingers and then inhale, open the heart a little bit more. We didn't take our humble warrior on the other side, but that's okay. I know. On the exhale, let's just take that beautiful humble warrior. And then slowly pressing into the sole of our left foot. That will create the lift as we rise back up, releasing the bind. Come into your warrior one, hands reaching up. And exhale, let's open into warrior two on the left. So sinking a little bit deeper, maybe into those legs, allowing that beautiful grounding sensation right here. Let's move into our peaceful warrior, rotating our left palm up. Inhale, we sweep it up and over. Nice, feel that beautiful stretch to your left side body. And then exhale, let's cartwheel. Windmill our hands down to the mat, framing the left foot right here. As we frame our left foot, our right heel lifts, right? Lower the right knee, untuck the right toes, hands on blocks or the mat. We're just going to shift our hips back, taking that beautiful stretch, hearts lifted, inhale. Maybe exhale a little deeper if you'd like, you don't have to. And then rebending the left knee, coming forward, tucking the right toes, lift the right knee, slide the right foot to meet the left. Perfect, rooting into our feet. Let's rise on up, all the way up, palms together. Exhale, hands down to our heart space. Perfect, take a moment, check in here. Perfect. And from here, let's return to that chair pose. Return to the challenge, right? And from here, we're slowly going to sink our hips down towards our heels. Maybe your hands want to lift. Maybe you keep them at heart center. Chair pose is never one to be favored. Draw the belly button into your spine. That'll release that lower back and kind of protect that. You don't have to go far in this beautiful chair pose, right? Utkatasana. Let's breathe here. Feel the strength. So strong in our legs. Inhaling and exhale. And then from here, we're just going to sweep our hands just like we did the last time. And almost like our pinkies are reaching towards the sky. Sometimes I like to call this our drinking bird. Sometimes I like to feel like I'm peering over the edge of something. So you can keep your heels on the mat, or you can start to lift your heels and allow your chest to release towards your thighs. Some may come really deep, some may not. That's okay. We're all individual, all of us. Breathing here. Nice. And then slowly, let's come down to our mat. We're moving into that little bit of boat pose, right? So come all the way down. See how you feel today. How is your boat lifting your heart? We're collectively in the waters of life. We're collectively on our mats, but we're all so individual, right? Breathing here. Some of you may tremble. I do. I call it the tremble of truth, my weakness.
Perfect. And then slowly come all the way down. And this time, bend your knees, stacking them over your hips. Let's take our hands behind our head. We're going to challenge ourselves a little bit. Maybe lift your head just a smidge, and then allow your right elbow to connect with your left knee. Exhaling. Inhale, come center. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, we twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, we twist. One more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, we twist. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Come back into center. Draw your knees into your chest. Just take a moment here. And then slowly placing the soles of your feet on the mat, we're going to move into our bridge pose. Knees are pointing towards the short edge of your mat, so they're not going wide. Keep them pointing towards the short edge. You can place your hands on the mat, your elbow, whatever you like, but we're just going to start to lift those hips. We don't have to go high to feel this. It's just a beautiful opening in the front of our body here. Nice big breath. And a nice breath out as we lower back down towards the mat. Nice, let's take a big breath here. Beautiful. Draw both knees into the chest. Just take a moment here. We're just going to rock side to side. Just massage your spine. And then slowly coming back into the center. If it feels okay, rock forward and backward. If not, we'll meet at the short edge of our mat, the front line. We're just going to rock and rock. We come forward. Perfect. And then slowly reverse swan dive. So both feet on the mat. Slowly we rise. Woo! We have done it all. Palms together at the top and exhale, hands down to our heart space. Perfect. One more small little addition, if you will. Let's slide that left foot back. Spiral the left heel down. Rise into your warrior one. Beautiful. Exhale, let's open into our warrior two. Moving into our peaceful warrior, right palm reverses. Sweep your right hand up and over. Perfect. Exhale. Let's return. And this time we're taking that extended side angle. So sorry. Right elbow releases to our right thigh. We're just going to sweep the left arm all the way up. You can reach for the stars or you can take it overhead. Feeling really strong in our right shoulder, avoiding that collapse. And from here, we're going to straighten our right knee and windmill both arms up. And so that we're in this triangle prep, if you will. And then from here, both palms to the sky. And we're just going to bring our toes towards the corners of our mat, reaching our hands all the way up. Perfect. On the exhale, let's bend that left knee. Bending our left knee, we're just coming into that skandasana. I call it a side lunge. You can take your hands through to your heart space. You can lower your hands down towards the mat. We're just moving here and then shifting to the right. Let's bend our right knee. And you can take all this beautiful space inside this rectangle. One more time. Let's shift over towards the left. Shift over towards the right. Beautiful. Let's slowly bring our hands towards the short edge of our mat, framing the right foot, left heel lifts. High lunge, left hand on the block or the mat. Inhale, right hand reaches up. Exhale, right hand lowers. Rooting into our right foot, we're going to slide the left foot to meet the right. Inhale to the half lift. Exhale, let's fold. Rooting into our feet, let's rise on up. Big circle, palms together at the top. Exhale, hands down to our heart space. Take a moment, check in. Nice, steady breath. Inhale. Exhale. Perfect. Let's slide that right foot back. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So from here, we're taking that warrior one. Right hand or both hands reach all the way up. Coming into this glorious warrior one, so strong. Exhale. open into your warrior two. Perfect. Let's find that peaceful warrior as you rotate the left palm. Inhale, sweep your left hand up and over. Woo. Nice. Exhale. Let's take that extended side angle. Left elbow comes to your left thigh. Right hand reaches all the way up, or perhaps overhead, whatever feels right towards you for you. And then straightening this left knee, let's inhale, come into that triangle prep, if you will. Our arms are nice and wide, rotating both palms towards the sky, bringing our toes towards the corners of our mat. So just a little adjustment here. Let's reach both hands up. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to our heart space. We're just going to bend that right knee, slowly taking Skandasana towards the right. Chest stays lifted. I want you to keep your gaze forward. Beautiful. And then shift towards the left. You can send your arms wide. I like to think of it like I'm surfing. And again, take them towards the right. So we're just shifting over, feeling that beautiful stretch on our inner thighs. Challenging here, and then shift again towards the left. Nice. And then slowly lower our hands. We're going to frame the left foot. As we do so, it's a little bit of shifting in our feet. Our right heel lifts. We're in that high lunge, rooting into our feet. We're slowly going to slide the right foot to meet the left. Inhale to our half lift. Exhale, we fold. Rooting into both feet. Let's rise on up. Ooh, nice. Palms together at the top. And exhale, hands down to our heart space. Perfect. Let's make our way onto our mats. So thanks for hanging with me on that fun flow. I love to move a little differently. So every now and then I like to change things up. So thanks for hanging with me. We'll come all the way down. And as we do so, let's come onto our backs. No more boat. Let's draw our knees into our chest. Just take a moment here. Get grounded through our spine. Let your shoulders release here. Allow your hands to just be heavy on your shins, if you will. Perfect. And then lowering the left foot down towards the mat. Let's extend our right leg up towards the sky, flexing the right sole of our foot. Maybe hold on to your right calf, maybe behind your thigh. Doesn't really matter where we are, but I want your hips to stay on the mat. If they start to lift, allow your leg or your foot to go further from your head. So you want that connection right here. Inhaling, exhaling. Maybe you make circles with your ankle if that feels good to you. Remember to reverse that direction. And then slowly, let's bend the right knee and place that right ankle on our left knee. So you have that figure 4, the number 4 with our legs. You can stay right here and press the right knee away. That is a beautiful stretch. Or you may thread through the center and interlace your fingers behind your left thigh or your left shin. And this is such an important stretch. So while you're here, I want you to be sure to breathe, inhaling and exhaling. My sister is a runner, and she runs marathons all the time. And she took a class and they did pigeon, which this is reverse pigeon. Anyways, they held it for 3 minutes on each side. Needless to say, her running has taken a nice break here. Let's go ahead and lower the left foot down towards the mat. Beautiful. Cross the right leg over the left, just like we did in the beginning of class. Tee your arms out from your shoulders. Bump your hips over to the right, just a smidge. And then we slowly release our knees to the left. And just start to feel this whole glorious stretch. The weight of your left knee on your right kind of encourages that deeper stretch or that nice twist. Now it feels so good. And then from here, pressing into the outer edge of that left foot so we can return to the center. Let's realign our hips with our spine and then uncross the right from the left. And then slowly let's lift the left foot. Again, flex through the left heel. Hands where they support you. Doesn't matter where they are, but I want your hips to be heavy. So again, if they're lifting, if you feel that lift, lower them down. If that requires your hands, sliding onto the back of your legs a little differently, that's fine. And then make those circles again with your ankle. Yeah, so my sister, she did that pigeon pose and she asked me if I thought that was maybe the reason that she pulled her. It was right at the insertion of her hamstring and her glute. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like it. So we always got to be mindful of where we are, right? Let's go ahead and bend that left knee, placing the left ankle on your right knee. And you can press the left knee away if you'd like. Again, one side may feel like it's so much easier than the other, and that's so normal. Or thread your hand through the center and interlace your fingers behind your thigh or onto your right shin. And I want you to breathe here. Again, we get into these poses, and when they're challenging is when we start to hold our breath. That's when we start thinking, when is this going to end? So send your breath into that spot that feels really tight. Almost visualize it going there, giving some relief. And then slowly, let's lower the right foot towards the mat. Cross the left leg over like we're seated in our chair, and then tee your arms out from your shoulders and bump your hips just a little to the left. So you have that room, that space to release your knees over to the right. Oof. And from here, that glorious, glorious stretch. Let's breathe here. Breathe out. And then slowly, let's bring it all back into center. Bump your hips so they're in alignment with your spine. Uncross the left knee from the right. Let's draw both knees in. Just take a moment here, coming into our child's pose. Feet towards the sky, and you may hold on to the arches of your feet or maybe your outer edge, but I want your spine to stay on the mat. So if you're starting to lift your hips, slide your forearms behind your knees. That's a beautiful option right here, and it just really, it's the same as the other. So, and then slowly bring your feet together. Let's bring our knees together and wrap our arms one more time under our shins, lifting our head, neck, and shoulders. We're squeezing into that really compressed space. Squeeze out every little bit of energy right here, because we're going to leave it all on the mat so we can take a rest. Slowly send your legs long. Take up all the space you want or you need, and arrive in your Shavasana, that resting pose. Use whatever props to make yourselves more comfortable. And allow yourselves a moment to take a rest. And as you're in Shavasana, I want you to start at the bottom of your body, your feet, your toes, and just kind of wiggle and let it go and move all the way up into your body. Letting go of all the tension, any tightness you may be holding. Once you get into even your jaw, wiggle your jaw. Let your eyes soften behind your eyelids. Shavasana. If you have the luxury of time, I highly recommend you stay here as long as you need. Perhaps if you have to move on with your day, I'll lead you out with your next breath. Send this breath into your hands, to your toes, just bringing that small movement. And slowly reaching our hands up towards the sky. Taking our arms overhead for that nice full body stretch, allowing the small of our back to lift. And then slowly bending our knees as we walk our feet up close to our hips. And we're just going to draw our knees into our chest. And again, rock side to side. Releasing over to whichever side you choose. And allowing that arm to be a pillow of support for your head. While here, I want you to recall your intention, your sankalpa. Perhaps it has served you in your practice today. You can leave it here on the mat, or perhaps you want to take it with you so that you can head out to the week and use this powerful word, this grounding word, as you move forward in your days. Let's just send up some gratitude for our practice and the way that our bodies move on the mats. And slowly pressing through that available palm, let's rise into our seated upright pose, that Sukhasana, with your legs crossed or extended, doesn't matter. Bring our palms together at heart center in that mudra of Anjali. Let's share a breath collectively as a community. Breathe in. We breathe out. Lifting our thumbs to our forehead. May we be reminded to think kind, loving, beautiful thoughts of ourselves and of others. And then lowering our thumbs to our lips, may we speak those words meant to encourage and lift others up. And then lowering our thumbs to our heart space, may we always move through our day. Namaste. Thank you all for being here on the mat with me today. I hope that the week ahead holds many positive, good things for you all. And I look forward to seeing you next week. If you ever have any questions or comments or anything that you want to just let me know, I think there's a place that you can put some comments out there or ask a question. I'm happy to answer anything. And if you want, you can put your email. I'll do my best to respond. So I hope you have a great week and take care and be well. Oh.